Thank you, Eliav. Thank you for the many months of leading this process, and thank you also for stealing a couple jokes that I was going to start with. It'll cut a couple minutes off the speech, so it's pretty good. It really is amazing to see everyone here tonight. Like Eliav, I'm much more accustomed to seeing this room with children jumping and basketballs flying and the occasional need to duck. And I want to begin by thanking those who worked day and night, including last night till almost midnight and this morning from early in the morning, to transform this gym into the amazing and beautiful room that we're celebrating in tonight. And among those on the committee, Sarah Liska, Leanne Israelstam, Rachel Klein, and Sherry Fleeter. Each of whom put in tremendous efforts planning every single detail of this evening, alongside, of course, the professional planning, guidance, and expertise of Debbie Small. We also want to thank our dedicated sponsorship team, who ensured that this year we not only matched the sponsorship total for the gala that had built on Ron Dermer's presence, but we actually exceeded that sponsorship total, raising over $90,000 in this year's gala sponsorships alone. And that team deserves to be singled out for their efforts, and includes Brian Fox, Rachel Stark, Lindsay Mayerfeld, Jeff Wild, Eliav Sharvit, and Johnny Kleinman. Finally, our professional staff, Samantha Steinberg and Ari Schwartz. If our volunteers and committee worked night and day, Samantha and Ari worked night and day, and then a little bit more, to make sure that this event would go off without any hitch and be a truly appropriate celebration of our school's growth and success. And finally, I want to take a moment to recognize heads of school who are here from other Cleveland Jewish day schools to celebrate with us tonight. Their support is very meaningful and very much appreciated. Dr. Ari Yaris, Rabbi Jerry Isaac Shapiro, and Rabbi Simcha Dessler. And we have mentioned our JECC, the Jewish Education Center of Cleveland, on multiple occasions. It would not be fitting to continue without mentioning those leaders of the Jewish Education Center who are here with us tonight: Jennifer Truboff, Marlon Jaffe, and Seymour Kapelowitz. It really is wonderful to see all of you here tonight, though, like Eliav said, I can't see a single thing beyond this podium. But it's more amazing to see what we can accomplish when we come together. In fact, the parsha we read yesterday in Shul emphasizes this very fact, and it does so in its first word, Vayakhel. After many, many months of waiting, after almost not getting there, the Jewish people are finally ready to begin building the Mishkan, to begin building the sanctuary to worship God in the desert. But before they can move forward, before they can actually begin to build, they must come together. And so the Torah uses a somewhat unusual word, Vayakhel, to indicate to us that Moshe Rabbeinu purposefully gathers the people together, unites them as a community before they begin to construct God's sanctuary. But Moshe doesn't just gather the nation. It's not enough for us just to come together for the sake of coming together. Rather, Moshe gathers the people so that they can reach a new stage in their national development. And so too, we gather here tonight not only to unite ourselves as a community, but also to renew our sense of communal purpose, our dedication to Torah, Israel, learning, and leadership, and our ability to move forward. We have come together here tonight, but I do realize that most of you don't spend quite as much time in this gym when it isn't lit with beautiful lights and filled with tables, chocolate, and wine. So let me share a little bit about what happens in this gym and the rest of the building on a typical day. And I'll take you through what happened here last week, just for a glimpse. The truth is, last week didn't begin on Monday morning. Last week actually began right here on Sunday afternoon, as 300 adults joined our lower school STEM fair, where they were led through fascinating math, hands-on learning and calculations by our 1st through 5th graders, who acted as the docents, guides, and teachers for the event. Those students had spent the last 2 months led by Maura Malki and our lower school faculty as they engaged deeply in real-life math learning, which they were excited and energized to present to their parents and friends. On Monday morning, Maura Leslie was waiting outside as usual to greet the early childhood children, who began already entering the building and preparing for Pesach, not just by memorizing the Manishtana, which is of course important, but also through hands-on exploration of the concept of chametz, the concept of freedom, and the concept of Hashem's role in our lives. On Tuesday, our junior high school students were finishing their ancient Rome unit in social studies and a communication unit in Hebrew. But rather than just memorizing names, dates, and vocabulary words, they prepared three-dimensional projects to demonstrate their knowledge of the Roman era and videoed commercials to show their expanded communication skills in Ivrit, in Hebrew. On Thursday, in the midst of 2 sets of mock Israeli elections, one in the junior high and the second in the high school launched its newest enrichment center, the Ruth Ratner Miller Center for Global Politics, which will foster social and political engagement among our students. In addition to this center, to better prepare our students and to further their business-related and leadership skills, we are excitedly preparing for our next center launch for the Sophia Rose Entrepreneurship Center, whose formal launch will be forthcoming very soon. Our Science Scholars Center continues, and they moved forward this week as well as they hosted guest scholar Dr. Brian Redman, head archaeologist at the Cleveland Museum of Natural History, for their latest Tuesday lunch Science Cafe. These centers dovetail beautifully with our ongoing work to reimagine and reinvigorate our high school educational program. Our faculty's next generation design team has been experimenting with new methods for engaging students, deepening learning, and ensuring that we are indeed preparing our students most meaningfully, not for the world of the past, but with the skills and knowledge they need for their future. With tremendous results already in from our online learning experiments and from our Chromebook pilot project, we are excited to keep pushing forward. And we will keep pushing forward. There are amazing things happening here every day of the week. And we must ensure that all of these programs, classes, and opportunities are enhanced and expanded each year. We are blessed with a faculty that is devoted to these kind of programs, and we are blessed with a community that supports them. I recently had the opportunity to participate in the North American Jewish Day School Conference in Philadelphia. I generally consider myself a timely person. My wife may disagree a little bit. But I was 5 minutes late for the first session that I was leading because I kept getting stopped in the hallways by people I didn't know. Somehow, they all knew about Cleveland. And they all knew about Mizrachi. They were astounded by what our community has done here. And they wanted to know how they could replicate it in their own communities. Some of them even made some job offers to the staff that was traveling with me. Luckily, I returned with all the staff members that I had left with. And so as these people came up to me, I tried to answer them and I tried to explain it. I said, first, you take a warm and generous community. And then you add devoted school founders, committed to their ideals and willing to sacrifice. You mix in a few generations of lay leaders with a vision for excellence. And finally, you pull together some of the best teachers and administrators in the entire country, and you give them a group of bright, energetic, and happy children to work with. And now you can see why I was a little bit late to my session. I didn't even have the heart to tell most of them about our new expansion project. 4 years into our new facility, and we are out of space in our early childhood program. How does this community respond? Lead donors enable us to build new rooms on the first and second floor, expanding our early childhood and junior high wings, and designing spaces to support the best practices in education. And funding for this $1.25 million project has been raised without asking for donations from our parent body. Yes, there is a certain magic to the Mizrachi community. This magic enriches each of our, and more importantly, each of our children's experiences and helps them grow into the kind of individuals who will ultimately lead this community and the Jewish community at large into the future. As a community, we must continue to redouble our efforts as we build the foundation for the future. And we do this by supporting our annual campaign this year with a goal of $1.475 million. And I thank all of you for your generous support, which has enabled us to exceed last year's pace and exceed last year's success by raising approximately $1.2 million as of today, with our annual golf outing yet to come. Thank you. And even more importantly than our annual campaign, we must continue to build our school's endowment, which stands today at $35.5 million. With millions more dollars of commitments in legacy and current gifts in the final stages of discussion and currently being committed. It is this endowment which will secure an affordable and inspirational school for our children and for our grandchildren, a vital anchor of Jewish life in Cleveland and beyond. We thank all of the volunteers who dedicate hours of their time, our board of trustees, our executive committee, and at their helm, our president, Jeff Wild, who seems to spend almost as much time in this building as I do. Without their efforts, and in particular without Jeff's leadership, none of what's here tonight and none of the support that we have gathered and amassed for the school would be possible. Thank you.